On this James the Bike Guy, we're taking a look at the 2021 Giant Contend AR1. This is the top end level version of their aluminum all-road road bike. Offers some pretty awesome parts in a reasonably affordable package. So in this video, we're gonna go into some of the features and designs of this Giant Contend AR1, talk about where you'd ride it, what it's all about, and then of course, we'll find out exactly what it weighs. So if this kind of thing is interesting to you, I encourage you to stick around and consider hitting that subscribe button so you can see more videos like this in the future. The Giant Contend AR stands for all-road. And what all-road is basically a split somewhere in between a traditional road bike and a traditional gravel bike. So as you can see here, this bike is coming stock with a little bit smoother tires, but it is still running disc brakes, and it has a reasonably upright geometry to allow it to be nice and fun for some long rides, just like an endurance bike would be. This is their ALU XX grade aluminum frame. It's disc brake with through axles in the rear and in the front. And what I really like about this bike is the internal cable routing is so well integrated for an aluminum road bike. And of course up front, you've got a full carbon fiber fork, carbon fiber steerer down to these nice carbon blades, through axle 15 by 100 up there. And the tire clearance that's gonna be on both the fork as well as the rear of the bike is actually quite generous. So you'll see here that you can run up to 38 millimeter tires as you need. And one thing I really like about this bike that you can see is this little bit of indent into the seat tube. Now, why that matters to us is that's going to give a bit more space between the tire and the seat tube without having to elongate the chainstays. And so as you go to wider tires, you make this a little more all-road capable, you're not going to have to worry about buildup there or rubbing. Go into the cockpit, and we're going to start with the saddle area. Here we have the Giant Approach saddle. This is a low profile road bike saddle with a nice generous cutout. And then you're gonna have their D-Fuse composite seat post. So this is gonna be a composite shaft with an aluminum head to it. And this is using their D-Fuse design. And that means that it's gonna have a D shape to it. You've got the D-Fuse mount for the seat post here. And what that's allowing for is a little more flex in the seat post, designing that carbon to allow the flex to go back. I like that a lot, with the exception of the fact that it means you have to run a specific Giant seat post, as well as instead of having a standard clamp around the bike, you'll notice it's got one of these integrated clamps there that's just a touch more challenging to work with. But in general, that should make it a bit more comfortable. And going forward, you're set up with a Giant contact stem, and then of course, a Giant aluminum handlebar. Now, the drivetrain on the bike, because this is the AR1 or the top end level, it's gonna come with a very nice level of Shimano. So this is Shimano's 105 drivetrain, which is directly in the middle of their performance lineup. It's the first to get the most current generation 11-speed style shifting, and it's an awesome performance for the value. So back here, you've got that Shimano 105 rear derailleur, and then you're gonna be matching up to this 11-speed 1134 cassette. That cassette is going to power forward to a Praxis Alba crankset. Praxis is a pretty cool company out of California that runs some of the best chain rings that are out on the market that are non-line. And you'll see this is a 50-34 combo. So if we talk about gearing a bit for a second, because it's an 11 tooth in back and a 50 up top, that means your top end gear, your hardest gear, is going to have plenty of speed for descending. But I really love the fact that they went with the 34 out back and the 34 up front, which means you're gonna have a 1-to-1 ratio for climbing on the bike. To shift and brake, running the Shimano 105 hydraulic shift and brake levers. These are pretty neat because inside of the hood here, we've got the hydraulics for those hydraulic 2-piston calipers that are down at the wheels. And then you're gonna have an inside button to bring it to harder gear and a whole lever over to bring it to an easier gear. Now the Giant Fondo 2 tires that are on this bike are a 700 by 32C size. They're going to be mounted up on these Giant R2 disc wheels. The PR2 disc wheels are tubeless ready, and in fact, so are the tires. So you could set this up tubeless straight out of the box. The actual weight for the Giant Contend AR1 in a size medium large comes in at 20 pounds, 0.99. Thanks for watching this video on the Giant Contend AR1. It's a pretty cool road bike from Giant with all-road intentions, and I'm really interested in seeing what your comments are down in the comment section below. While you're at it, be sure to hit that subscribe button and don't forget to ring the bell. That way you can see the next video up here soon.